Hello and welcome, I'm Olas Gerjuk and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. Today we're talking about the biggest volunteer program in Eastern Europe called GoCamp. With this project, volunteers from the whole globe motivate kids to learn foreign languages and introduce the world to children from all over Ukraine. The language camp gives children from small towns and villages a great opportunity to become real team players who are ready to work in a multicultural environment. To talk more about the program, we welcome to our studio today Oksana Nechyporenko, Director of the Global Office. Hello and thank you for being with us today.
Hi, thank you for inviting.
Thank you for coming. Could you please tell us a bit more about this GoCamp program?
The general idea is of our civil society organization is to help Ukraine to integrate globally and to help the internal integration of Ukraine. And English language is one of our priorities because for us, we are promoting foreign languages learning in Ukraine, especially English, because there is a very logical correlation between the level of knowing of English in the country and GDP. And economic growth and cultural growth.
Really?
Yeah, there are statistics, ratings, so they really they correlate rather directly. That's why for us we thought after Revolution of Dignity, lots of our initiators, we were living other lives, and for us English was the opportunity also to help Ukraine to make this jump. Just to help
to speed this up a little bit,
the process,
the development.
The process. And then we tried to pilot different variants, and we also started and launched the Year of English in Ukraine. 2016 was officially named the Year of English in Ukraine. This is the information campaign that we promoted, and during this year we started conducting this project of GoCamps. Why? Because we analyzed the experience of other countries of the world, Georgia, Japan, Chile, Brazil, Turkey, Hungary, and in all of those countries, the involvement of international volunteers, some of them native speakers, was very crucial in order to really move forward this question of learning English in the country.
So this is an international project that involves native speakers of some different foreign languages. But then we're talking not only about English, right?
Yes, you're totally right. So we have English, German and French language camps. So what we do, we turn schools into free for children summer language camps with international volunteers. So all schools all over Ukraine can apply. Then the schools who are most motivated, they get the invitation to participate in the project. And the first stage is we invite in their teachers of foreign languages, English, German or French, for special trainings here near Kiev that give them the opportunity to understand what is teaching in the new way, through games, through projects, what is partnerships with children, what is child autonomy, so what is skills, so all these new modern things that
informal, entertaining education.
Yeah. Okay. It's gamification. It's everything through games and through fun. So this is like the first component. They get special trainings that are delivered by amazing professors and teams from US, from UK, Germany, France. We have all of these partners from British Council, embassies, Goethe Institute, Institute Français. So for teachers, it's really special opportunity to get this new knowledge. Then the second stage, we invite international volunteers, and this is the most exciting part because international volunteers come to Ukraine on their own cost.
On their own cost?
So they fly from all of those countries of the world. Last year we had volunteers from 70 countries of the world participating here.
Wow,
and
that's quite a number.
It is, and so we started in 2016. And up to this date, we already had 808 volunteers who came to Ukraine to participate in GoCamps.
So they want to teach Ukrainian kids some foreign language, their language.
Yeah, so the idea is that not all of them are teachers. Because the teacher role is played by the teacher of foreign languages, but volunteers are people who are ready to work with kids, to share their experience, to talk to them, and to be their mentors and guides and sometimes role models. And we have volunteers from 17 till 75 years old.
Wow.
So it's all range. We have students and from Oxford, Cambridge. We have students from Indonesia.
Then what is their motivation to come here if nothing is covered? I mean, no costs are covered.
We cover everything in Ukraine, so they need to come to fly here, but in Ukraine we cover the trainings, Kyivstar giving them SIM cards, they live in host families all over Ukraine.
Which is like a cultural exchange.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
Yes.
Well, this is exciting. You said that schools all over Ukraine can participate,
yes.
but how many schools do participate this year, and how many schools are going to be this summer camps?
So last year we had 600 schools all over Ukraine that participated in the project. Generally we have more than 1,200 schools who are our GoCamp. This year we'll have dedicated around 400 camps all over Ukraine. So we are talking about literally all over Ukraine. We have volunteers. 80% of the camps of the schools are situated in small cities and villages.
Which is useful, yes, because it's harder for pupils, for these kids from small cities and villages.
Yes,
it's harder for them to break this language barrier and start speaking in some foreign language.
It's absolutely true, but this is also a big challenge because for the majority of volunteers, this is a very unique experience that they are having.
Yes, to live in a Ukrainian rural area.
It's fun. It's eco-friendly. You know, we tell that it's green tourism, but the major
should be an adventure.
The major motivation for volunteers is to they do like the idea that they are they help to shape the new generation of Ukrainians. Lots of them heard about Ukraine on the news, and lots of them say that we know that something bad is happening in Ukraine. We mean war and all the conflicts, and so we want to help and to be there to help where we're needed at most. For lots of volunteers, it's also the opportunity. For lots of volunteers, volunteering is not something unique. It's a part of their lives. So they do volunteer at schools, they do volunteer at university. In order for some of them volunteering is obligatory in their universities, for example. So for them, it's like a logical continuation of their work. We have some diaspora who are coming to Ukraine. They are around 20% of our volunteers who are from diaspora, so they are coming to give back to their community. They are coming to find out the places where they are from. So, for example, one of the first volunteers that I interviewed personally, he said that in 1815, my family left Bessarabia region, so please find me some village in those regions for me to volunteer.
This person wants to get to know this culture, wants to get this spirit of his or her ancestors. Well, this is very exciting. And if we're talking about this year, GoCamp, could you please tell us what activities are taking place in these schools? I mean, is this 3 months long from the beginning of June until the end of August, or how is this happening?
So the camps are being conducted during June and August time. Why? Because in June and August, teachers are still at school and get their salaries, but there are no children there. I don't know if you had this experience, but during the old times, we used to have in schools during summer this like practice where you had to paint walls in the schools and
to clean the yard,
to do very intellectual job. And the idea is to try to use the same infrastructure but with a new content. So we offer schools not to conduct this summer practice, but to do summer language camps. So in this way, we are using the infrastructure. We are not adding extra costs. So for teachers, their motivation to participate is to go to our special training and to get the new knowledge. For children, the motivation is to be in fun language camp with live foreigner.
Rather than clean the yard or do any other physical work.
And for parents, the bonus is that they are sending children to the same school, so we know where they are. They don't have to pay extra cost, and children will be learning foreign languages during that time.
So this is completely free of charge?
Yes.
With a very positive outcome. Okay, this is very exciting. Unfortunately, we are about to conclude the conversation, but could you please tell us about some feedback? Because you said that the program was launched back in 2016, so you already conducted 3 GoCamps.
Intakes, yeah.
Could you please tell us about the feedback, about the reactions?
Yeah. So the general idea is that now we have more than 140,000 children who participated in our GoCamp. So it's the whole like a small part of generation that is already there, that are GoCampers. And this year, for the first time in our history, we employed one of our GoCamp alumni from Cherkasy region. So, and what we know that we have several audiences that we are working. For teachers, we have the general positive feedbacks from teachers and from Ministry of Education, that they see that those teachers who participated in the program, they became more skilled and more active in social ways. So those schools, after GoCamp, start to launch all other social projects or to participate more actively in all of the activities possible. So it's like if you look at Ukraine a map of schools, you see the new lights coming out. So it's we have extreme positive feedback from teachers and their repetitive desire to participate.
To come back and participate once again.
Yeah, and we have repetitive schools and teachers and trainings who are doing this. Second, we have now this amazing alumni association of our volunteers all over the world, and it's a huge public diplomacy, because we do have volunteers who break their stereotypes about Ukraine, and 90% of volunteers have very strange stereotypes about Ukraine, about war, and somehow they think that we are very grey and not open for international volunteers in general, but
not that much friendly.
And they try to bring their favorite food with them, because they think that we don't have any food stores here. I'm not joking.
And then they are trying to bring Ukrainian food everywhere else in the world.
You're totally right. And then what is happening? Each year we have an amazing up to 30% of intake of volunteers, our alumni who come back here again. They now have Ukrainian mamas and Ukrainian dads, Ukrainian families that they are visiting, their host families. They continue communication with schools. So this is like a huge, they do different videos, they write articles. So they are becoming public ambassadors of Ukraine all over the world. And they also say that Ukraine changed their lives because they feel some energy and something important is happening here. And of course, children, we do know that they break their language barriers. We also know that they find a new motivation of learning international languages, and basically with international volunteers, the whole world comes to them, and like they understand that the world is much bigger than they thought.
Excellent, excellent. So this means that the results are emerging in different directions, from public diplomacy to the level of education, especially if we're speaking about foreign languages. Well, thank you so much for this important information, and thanks for your personal contribution into this educational development of Ukrainian youngsters.
Thank you.
That was Oksana Nechyporenko, Director of the Global Office. Thank you for watching Head to Head. I'm Oles Garjuk. Goodbye.